Say happy Friday and welcome everyone to Counsel. My name is Jason Berger. I'm the chair for the Mentoring New Lawyers Committee for the Florida Bar this year. We have Charlene Stanford Green, who will be addressing you. She's our vice chair. And we have the great Katie Jones of the bar, who's here and is wonderful to work with. I want to start off by saying thank you to all of you. There are many things that you could volunteer for, and mentoring obviously is near and dear to your hearts. So we certainly appreciate you. We don't just want you in this program. We need you in this program because it helps the Florida Bar and it helps our members. Little bit about the program. This is year 3 of the program. We are proud to tell you that over 600 lawyers have signed up for this program this year. So that's quite a milestone and an achievement for the program. The program is 9 months long. And there are milestones that the mentee pick. There are 4 milestones that we'll get into the mentee picks. And then there's sub sheets that the mentee decides the questions that you get to meet on. This program is free to you from the Florida Bar. You will get 8 CLE credits. In addition, at the end of the year, should you so choose, at the Florida Annual Bar Conference, you are invited to attend a reception where you will receive your certificate. The Chief Justice of the Florida Supreme Court has spoken the first 2 years at that reception, and the Chief Justice is fully on board and fully supportive of this program. Little bit about my experience, the first 2 years being in this program. I was with the founding committee with some of our committee members, and thank you to the committee members. I can see your faces. The ones of you that are here today, thank you so much for your volunteering and your time. My first mentee, and I will say to you all that I learned just as much from the mentees as they do from me. So it's a wonderful relationship. And a lot of this program is about relationships. My first mentee was about 40 years old in a second career and a businessman. And we are paired on the computer by our personalities and to a degree our location. And so we met for breakfast, and he asked a lot of questions about business and professionalism and ethics. And I can tell you about a month ago, 2 years later, we are still meeting for breakfast and his practice is thriving. Year 2, I had a young mother who has a 2-year-old and actually had a baby during the program. And she's a family law lawyer. So a lot of her questions were about professionalism, ethics, contracts, business, all the things that we have done as mentors over the years, or people have helped us, because I certainly know that your mentors have helped you ethically, personally, professionally, legally throughout your career. So part of this for us mentors is giving back, but it's also learning from the mentees. And anyway, she brand new lawyer, and it just so happened that she emailed this morning for more questions about business and et cetera. So the relationship is a huge part of this program. I would recommend for the mentors that you take the lead and schedule the full year out, because it is 9 months. There's at least 8 meetings. I would put it on the calendar with you and your mentee. If you're local and you like meeting face-to-face, I love it. My first one was face-to-face. The second one was across the state. So we did them all by Zoom. That's a little bit about the program that you are entering into. Certainly, Katie is there for any questions. I'm there for any questions. Charlene is there for any questions. I have found it to be very worthwhile and fulfilling, both learning from the mentees and giving back to our profession. So with that said, I will turn it over to Charlene. I'm sure she's got some tips for you as well.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Jason. Thanks, Katie. Glad to see you all here. We're really excited. Thank you for taking the time to show interest in serving on this committee. It is near and dear to my heart, and I just am looking forward to the experience you'll also get to have. So just being able to serve as a mentor is very meaningful, and those who are mentees too, I think it's a mutually beneficial relationship. One thing I love about the program is that we really aim to match folks based on that geographical location. So to piggyback off of Jason, if you have the opportunity to meet in person with your mentee or mentor together, it's really great. And if not, it's great because you can also just, set up that initial phone call or Zoom, Teams, whatever you can, and then get to say, hey, here are the milestones for the program over the course of the next 9 months. What do you want to start with or what are you interested in? And something for me that's also been beneficial is my mentee last year was based in, I'm in Orlando. She was in Claremont. So we got to meet up and then also talk about voluntary bar organizations locally. So for example, I'm part of the Central Florida Association for Women Lawyers, CFAL, which is a chapter of FAL over the state of Florida. And then she was a new member. So I got to introduce her to the program and then also see her and get to know her and help her. So it is great where you are able to guide each other and then share with each other not only professional goals, but also, get to know the person and see what it is you can help them with personally as well along their journey, as we're all part of the profession. So that's been really awesome. If you all have questions, like Jason said, we're here for you. Mentor Click is a great program. We're going to be able to see and learn about that today, which I think is going to be really helpful just to see how those tools work and how everything comes together. And just available if you need us. And thank you again so much for your interest and participation. The program wouldn't be what it is without all of you.
Thank you, Charlene. And Katie J.
Good morning, everyone. I just want to quickly introduce myself. I am Katie Jones. I am the Assistant Director of the Center for Professionalism at the Florida Bar. And I also have the privilege of serving as the staff liaison to the Mentoring New Lawyers Committee, which oversees the Counsel to Counsel program. So a lot of what I do a lot of work on the back end. So you'll get a lot of emails from me that's usually sent out through Mentor Click, which Mentor Click is a huge part of the administration of Counsel to Counsel. We could not do it without them. You're going to get to meet our success coaches in just a little bit. They're going to give you a great tutorial of the platform. They're going to show you how to find those milestones on the platform, how to find the worksheets that you'll get to work together with your mentor or mentee on. They will help you to mark off those milestones as complete. They will show you how to enter your hours. It is very important that you do enter your hours into the platform because that is how I, at the end of the program, will deliver those CLE credits out to you. And like I believe Jason said, you will get 8 CLE credits, 8 general credits, 2 professionalism, and 2 ethics credits. I am here. If you have any questions about the program along the way, feel free to email me anytime. I will try my best to answer your questions as soon as I can. I'm also available by phone. I'm happy to take your questions that way as well. I'm just here, and thank you all for being here and giving us your lunch hour to learn more about the program.
Yeah, thank you so much. So part of the orientation is to give you an overview of what you're going to be doing for the next 9 months and scheduling. And part of it is for the computers today, for the technology. For some of us that are the older lawyers, we don't normally sweat the public speaking, et cetera, but the technology is the things that can sometimes be challenging for a lot of us, so that, including myself. So we'll be going over the computers today. I'm going to overview the milestones. Again, I'm going to keep it really simple and general. In the computer, there are 4 milestones, and mentor-mentee pairs have to do one of each of the 4. So I will read the names really quick. It is career planning and professional development, lawyer-client relationship, lawyer-bar relationship, and client development and community involvement. For those 4 milestones, there are about 27 worksheets. Your mentee will pick out the worksheet that they want to work on. You both will print it up and you'll discuss it. And quite frankly, the discussions can be as much as you want. Certainly the worksheets are guidelines. They are helpful of topics that will help lawyers navigate their legal careers and everything from professional, networking, ethical, competency, contracts, you name it. It is all in there, but it's really mentee driven to what does this mentee want to learn from you about our profession, whether it be their business, their practice, their mentors, et cetera. So it's a really terrific program. I'm going to keep it as simple as that. know that there's 4 milestones and know that there's about 27 worksheets, which the mentee chooses which worksheets to work on with you. Any questions so far from anyone? If anyone wants to raise their hand, you're welcome. Otherwise, I'm going to kick it back over to Charlie. Don't know that I see any hands. Katie, you see any? Okay, so Charlie.
Okay, so another benefit, what Katie was talking about, is making sure that you are putting that time in there once you learn, because that is how you get the CLA credit. So the program will allow you to log your time, and you can log it by the milestone that you're talking about or the practice area. You can also make sure that on the MentorClick website itself, there are resources available as well. So if you have questions, there's some videos, there's some actual worksheets that are on there. So it is like a one-stop shop for you to be able to go on there and be able to navigate to see what resources are available. It should have been by now that all of the mentors, it was your role to make initial contact with your mentees. So hopefully you've done that, whether it's reaching out by phone or email. And if you have not had success in reaching your mentee, please let us know and communicate that to Katie. That way we're aware that we have the right contact information and that we can get that to you. If you haven't heard from your mentor yet, go ahead and let Katie know, and that she could just make sure that we have the right pairing and match, and that we can go ahead and confirm with that individual that we have the right contact information. Maybe just send a little gentle reminder that you have attempted to be in contact with that person as well. So we are going to have some representatives from MentorClick show us the website, and then they'll be able to show us how to get access to the worksheet so you can see where everything is and log your time as well. And Samantha, you can go ahead and reach out to Katie with regard to the pairing if you have a question with the connection. Yes. I'm just trying to make sure I get the chat questions while I'm here. Okay, great so far. Awesome. All right, Katie, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you for our next segment.
Thank you. All right, now we are ready for our tutorial of MentorClick. So we're going to ask, we have Tori and Tiffany on. I believe I've made you co-host if you are sharing a presentation. This is where they will go over where to find the milestones on MentorClick, showing you when you log in, you'll have your MyClick page where you can access the milestones. You can see the list of practical experiences there. They'll also share with you how to enter your hours as well. And we do those through something we call Quick Clicks. And they will be able to share more information about that with you. Tori and Tiffany, are you on? Are you ready?
Yes, thank you. Hello, everyone. Thank you for having us today. And thank you for joining the program. We're really excited to kick off the third cohort. Happy to share with you today a quick overview of the MentorClick platform. So let me go ahead and start sharing my screen. We'll jump through a presentation, just overview features, and then I will actually jump into the platform itself, and we'll show you exactly where you need to click to do all of the things. So let's jump in here. Okay, so the first thing is your MyClick page. So you all are likely familiar with this page, as this is the home page that you'll come to every time you access the platform. So it will default to this top tab that you'll see circled in blue here. And this is going to give you an overview of where you're at. You will see some historical information too. If you have participated in multiple cohorts, you'll see that your invested hours continues to grow as you're logging those. And that's where you'll also, skipping ahead a little bit, you'll also see who you're partnered with, and there's different ways that you can contact them. Milestones are also going to be important for tracking in this program. So your milestones, you'll see the 4 different categories that Jason listed when we get into the platform itself. Although, I believe the mentees are responsible for completing, mentors will also have visibility to those milestones. So you will be able to see the progress in which your mentee has made in completing those. And that can help track to just make sure that everybody's uploading and completing milestones by the official due date. We're also going to introduce you to goal setting. So you'll have an opportunity to enter in goals of your choosing. You can put in this space your meeting notes as you're having your conversations. You could put in goals that you have for the program outside of the practical experiences and milestones. You can use this tool however you see fit. So I'll give you a couple examples of that when we get into the platform as well. Now, quick clicks, these are how you're going to be able to log your hours. So once a month, you will receive a quick click on the first of the month, and it's going to ask you for the previous month's dates, how much time you spent on your mentoring relationship. One important thing that I want to note here is that it's not necessarily what amount of time did you spend talking to your mentor or mentee. It's also how much time did you spend working on that relationship. So if you are doing things outside of your conversations, which you likely are, make sure you include that time spent as well, because that's time spent towards it. And we want to make sure that you get credit for that. You will see listed under the focus areas, the different categories of the milestones too. So you can let us know where you're allocating your time if it was spent in one particular area. And then the milestones themselves will be listed on each quick click. So if you have completed your milestones at the same time that you are filling out a quick click, you can click those, lots of clicking. You can click those and then click submit, and that will mark those as complete as well. And then it's really small on this screen, but you'll see at the bottom right below where it says submit, there will also be goals that are listed there. So if you do create goals, those are always going to show up on your quick clicks until they are complete, as just a helpful reminder that you have those out there and you're working towards those. Now, we may also send you a survey throughout the program as well. I believe this is around the halfway mark that you'll receive this. These are also very important to us for learning and growing through each cohort. Also gives us some insight into how your relationships are progressing. When we do send those out, you'll receive them via email, and you'll also be able to see them on your development timeline. So your development timeline, you can access from your MyClick page. You'll see it's the third tab across the top in that little blue circle. When you click on your development timeline, it's going to essentially give you an outline of what's going to be expected for the partnership. So anything that has already happened and you've completed, you'll see highlighted in green. If it is pending, that means we've sent you an email, but you haven't yet completed that. And then if it's upcoming, and you'll see the date in which we anticipate that coming out. And then there will be respective links there too. So we'll click on those links and show you exactly how to do everything. Your individual development report is comprised of all of the quick click hours that you submit. So if you are participating as a mentee, you will see this in the developing self report. If you are participating as a mentor, you'll see this as developing others. You'll be able to apply filters in here too. So if you have participated in multiple cohorts, you could put in this year's filter if you just wanted to see this year, or maybe you want to see collective across the 3 years that you've participated, and you can see your impact. It'll show you a historical record of who you've been partnered with, how much time you've spent with them, what you focused on. And this will always be a collective resource for you. So even in the future, once you're on cohort 10, 11, 12, you'll have this historical impact, and you can download it at any time. You'll see that blue export to PDF tab that will allow you to download this and share this wherever you see fit. If you need to make any updates to your profile, you can do so at any time by clicking on the profile tab. So things that you may want to update. If you perhaps change your last name, get married, you can go in and change that information. If your email address changes, or if you have new certifications or practices, you can go in and review at any time what you have listed in your profile. This information is also helpful for us from a pairing perspective. Circuit, as an example, if you were to change your circuit, it's important that you update that so we can make sure that that's considered within our matching algorithm. Program resources will give you for all of the milestones. The team has done an excellent job at making sure that you have worksheets for each of those milestones, really robust resource library. I'll show you where you can access that. You'll see program resources next to your match's name, but also at the top of the page, you'll see resource library. If you were to click on resource library, it takes you to our global resources, which are primarily MentorClick resources, quick videos, less than 5 minutes, a few worksheets that'll help you with your mentoring relationship and the pivotal points across the cycle. The program-specific resources are going to be related to those milestones, and we'll check those out in just a minute. Really exciting for this year. We had it for last year too, but we definitely want to make sure that we're learning and growing with AI as much as possible. You have access to what we call Click AI, and ways that we would recommend that you use Click AI really however you see fit. It only accesses our mentoring ecosystem. It does not collect any sensitive information. If you were to ask it a question outside of mentoring, it's not going to give you a response. It's going to redirect you to ask about mentoring. Things that you could use this for. If you were looking for creating a goal, what that might look like. If you were looking for a meeting agenda for your next conversation with your mentee or mentor, it can certainly help with that. And one thing that I don't have a picture for you for today, and it's not quite live on the platform just yet, but it will be soon. You will soon see what we call Smart Step. And that's going to recognize where you're at in your partnership. And it's going to help prompt you for what you should be doing next. So if you've been matched for 3 months and you haven't completed a quick click, it's going to let you know that you have that outstanding. And it is going to leverage Click AI. So it's going to be a secondary AI feature that's there for you. And it'll have some prompts below it that'll say, write an agenda, ? Help me set a goal, things that you can click on to leverage this. I would say for those of you that have participated, I'd encourage you to, in previous cohorts, I encourage you to check this out and think of unique ways that you can elevate your partnership for this next go around. If it's your first time, and maybe perhaps your first time in formal mentorship, leverage this tool to kind of help you get started. There are a lot of really cool things that you can do with it. And like other AI tools that you've likely used, it produces the response that replicates what you prompt it with, right? So if you give it a really thorough prompt, it's going to give you a very thorough answer. So really, really a helpful tool that I highly encourage everyone to use. The other tool that our Click AI pulls from is our Clickopedia. So you can think of our Clickopedia as our knowledge base. Clickopedia will house how-to from a technological standpoint and the platform, how to do certain things, but there's also mentoring content that is in there that will, help you as well. So one resource I can think of that is used very often is my mentor or mentee hasn't reached out. What should I do? There's a really helpful article that's in there that gives you some sample emails, how to reach out, some best practices. So that's pretty common for folks to use as well. You can find this Clickopedia in the bottom of your screen, and I'll show you in just a second in the platform where that's going to be located. So let me hop out of this presentation and into the platform. So I know that's where everybody wants to go. And Jason, I hope you don't mind for the second year in a row, I'm using you as an example. So when you are in the platform, this is what your homepage should look like. To access your resources, you'll see program resources listed here. If you were to click on that, you can see different resources that we have in here. So this disclaimer and release that everyone was set to review and acknowledge, that's listed first. If you wanted to look by section, you could even do that as well. So you'll see we have it sectioned off. So if you were looking for lawyer-bar relationship milestones specifically, you could filter to that and then see these listed here. And then you can either click download, or when you click on the link, it's going to automatically download for you. And then you just open up that worksheet. My computer's thinking really hard on this Friday, but I promise you it works. All right. So then once it's downloaded, you have it here. There's great tips for discussion in here, actions, wonderful resources. So this will be a space that you will definitely spend some time in. And because of that, we've also put it in a couple places for you to find it. The global resources can be found here as well. So you can toggle between the two tabs if you want, or you could click on resource library up here at the top, and it takes you to global by default. But again, you can still access by program this way as well. Additionally, from your MyClick page, you'll see here different ways that you can reach out to your partner. So the chat feature, if we were to open that up, is going to offer an opportunity for you to connect with your mentoring partner right here in the platform. If I were to send Adam a message, when Adam's logged into the platform, there will be up here in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see where it says messages, a little notification with how many messages are there. So for example, a 1 with a red circle in it if there's any outstanding messages. There's also an opportunity here to email your partner. So if you click on that, it's going to pull up your email and automatically start an email to them. And then here we see, let's actually start with milestones instead of goals. So when you click on milestones, we will see here that from a mentor perspective, Jason is not responsible for any milestones. However, if he clicks on all milestones, you can see we won't allow Jason to select that for Adam, but we can see that Adam is responsible for the milestone. So this is the other place that we've linked to those resources just for ease of use. So if you come over to your milestones and we're looking for that same one, we can just simply click that link and it's going to automatically download. It will also pull up a tab for me to the resource library. And then also you'll see down here, we have practical experiences. So this is the other milestone that is available, and you'll notice there's an attachment required. So the mentee will be required to attach their documentation, and then they'll be able to mark that practical experiences milestone as complete. Now back on the MyClick page, we'll go over to goals, which have a very similar format to milestones. Either partner can create goals and both parties can see all of the goals that are created. So if you go to create a goal, we'll just say, meeting 1 as an example. You could put in the date if you wanted to. You can put in the notes from your meeting here if you want. Again, you can use this space in whatever way makes sense to you. You can add attachments to it. You decide who's responsible for completing it and when it's due. So a unique use case, if you do want to use this for using notes, I've had users put in their meeting date within the name and then the due date as when the discussion actually occurred. So if that date changed or whatever the case may be, you could also keep it like this, meeting 1, and then keep your due date as the meeting date. And then as soon as it is complete, you can just mark it as complete. So we'll just put in this test here. And then now that I've put it in, since I created this on Jason's behalf, I can see this as where I can mark it as complete. It's also listed under all goals, and we can see that Jason's responsible for it. You can edit it at any time, and you'll also be able to delete this goal as long as you are the one that created it. If we were to complete this goal, once all of your goals are completed, you'll receive this notification. Great job. You've completed your goals. You see this for milestones as well. And you could email your partner if you wanted to celebrate that. So I'm going to uncheck this and just delete it. Perfect. Now, from an investment standpoint and how you log your hours, since that's going to be very important for you, you can do that in a couple of ways. So when you receive your quick clicks on a monthly basis, there's going to be a link in there that you can click on. If you misplace the email, no problem. You can always come in here and go to your timeline and you will see anything that's in here. So you can filter down to quick clicks if you prefer. And you'll see that you can always go back to these as well. So even if they are pending, even if they're overdue, you can go in and you can edit your time. So you all may see that there is one listed for October of 2025. Hopefully. There was not an email that was sent out on November 1st because we recognize that we matched you in the middle of the month and you may not have had an opportunity to meet with your partner yet. So it's okay if for October you haven't met. You can either leave it as is, or you can also come in here and you can put in 0. And that's also an acceptable answer. And then you'll be able to mark off, what you discussed. Now, since I entered 0, it's not going to let me do that. But if I enter in time, it would let me select where I spent my time. And then I would also be able to see, if I were as the mentee, the milestones that I'm responsible for here. You'll notice there's also an opportunity to reach out to your admin. So if you need to send Katie a message, you'll see that it's going to Katie, and you can send her a message directly here when you're completing your quick click. So you can come back at any time and you can edit those. You're also going to find your surveys in here, your milestones, any events that are in here that have gone across your partnership, you'll see them. So if you have goals in here, you'll see that as well. And then your development report. So developing self is going to be for mentees. Developing others, this is for mentors. And here's where you can adjust those time periods and then download that as a PDF. Here's where you can update your profile at any time, and you can, retake the personality survey if you'd prefer. You can upload your profile picture if you want. So that is where you could do your profile settings. And then also want to show you the resources for Click AI. So if you click on Click AI here, you could say, my mentee is not answering. It could be, I have the talking and typing thing not down when sharing my screen. You can be as simple as my mentee is not answering, and it's still going to give you detailed information, links to our Clickopedia, some best practices, or you could even say, help me set a goal for my mentee. They plan to focus on career development. I know that's very basic, but you can put in whatever they plan to focus on, and it's going to help you set up a goal. So you can even, in preparation for your meeting with your mentee, if you put in something specific, it's going to help you draft kind of what that looks like. So helping you show up as well, feel you're prepared and knowledgeable to have those conversations. And the smart step that I alluded to, it will be present on your MyClick page. It's going to be right below where your partner's picture is. As soon as that enhancement comes out, I am sure that we will have a resource that is dedicated to that as well. But really, really going to be helpful for you all. And then also our Clickopedia itself. So this help icon in the lower right-hand corner, it's always going to pull up at least 3 resources that are relevant to whatever page you are on. You can use this widget. You could watch the videos that are in here. For me personally, I think it's a little too small. So you could click on this button to expand it out if you want to, and it will go straight to that page. The other way you can access is if you click your name and then support, you can click on over here, explore and learn on the left-hand side. And when you open that up, that is going to open the overall Clickopedia. Now I see participant and admin because I'm logged in as Jason, but you all will just see participant help, and you'll see some best practices and resources in here. All right. I know I didn't pause for questions throughout, but I know the chat is chirping. So happy to pause now and see if we have any outstanding questions that have not been answered just yet.
I'll hop in really quick, Tori. Can you, and if you did show this, can you go over one more time how to enter, where they can find the goals at on their MyClick page? Because this is how those mentees will enter those practical experience requirements. They will enter them in as a goal, and that's how they'll show that those requirements are complete.
Perfect. Yes, of course. So you will, from your MyClick page, you'll see this little icon underneath your partner's name that looks like a target with an arrow in it. And that is the goals icon. When you click on that, you'll see where you can add goal. And then here within your goal name, I would name your goal, and Katie, you can give guidance to, but your practical experience. So we'll just say practical experience 1. You can put in here the details of the practical experience, what all you did for that. You can attach any documentation as well to insert a link in here. And then you can, mark yourself as responsible for completing the goal. and then put in your goal date, due date. I would recommend putting in the date in which you did the practical experience. But Katie, let me know if you'd prefer something different.
Right. That's great.
Okay.
And then could we show them where they could find that list of practical experiences? And again, that list is just a guide. If you have others, that's completely fine. Just enter it in what you did. But if you want to pull up the list.
Yes. So 2 ways that you can access this. For mentors specifically, you can see this list by going to milestones, all milestones, and you'll see the full list here. For mentees, you will be able to go there as well if you'd like. But you'll also see those within your program preferences, because when you completed your enrollment, and let me actually maybe just jump over as a mentee so I can show you what this looks like. So within your program preferences, you'll be able to see all of the practical experiences that are listed here as well. So again, that would be from your MyClick page, program preferences, and you can scroll down and see those here.
And you're only required, mentees only are required to complete 5 of those practical experiences. And you again would enter them in as a goal. And then quickly, Tori, before we go to other questions, could you show the mentees, because also this is really important too, at the end, after you've gone through your milestones, and again, you're only required to complete 1 worksheet from each of the 4 milestones. So it's just a total of 4 worksheets. You can, of course, go further if you would like, but the 4 are required. And then will you show the mentees really quickly, because only the mentees have to mark those as complete, not the mentor. So let's show them where they can do that.
Yes, absolutely. So as a mentee, you can come into My Milestones. Now, since I am not actually this person, it's not going to let me complete it. But you can see all of those listed here. And there is a reminder that you need to do 1 under each of the 4 categories. You will see that there is an attachment that's required. So when you click on upload file, it's going to allow you to put in that attachment. Once you put in an attachment, you will be able to mark that milestone as complete. So those worksheets are what you're going to be attaching to that milestone.
And I will make one note about that. Wait until you've done all 4 of the worksheets that are required, and then attach them as 1 file. Correct, Tori? Because I believe it only allows for 1 submission.
Yes, perfect. Great call out. And for that reason, we also mark the due date as well into 2026, because we don't anticipate that you would have these milestones completed really quickly before the end of the year. Or yes, definitely recommend that you include them in 1 file, all 4 worksheets into 1 document, and then just upload file here, and you'll be able to mark it as complete.
Thank you. And those were the main questions I had. I will try to look in the chat and see if we have any others. Someone said, when I submitted my time in October, I was required to upload a document. I uploaded my completed worksheet. Is that what was required? I wasn't aware that we had to upload anything to record your time.
So I'm really glad that somebody asked that question. So when you come into your Quick Click, when you go to enter in your time, if you're just entering your hours and selecting your focus area, you will be able to submit it. However, for the mentees, since if you were to mark that milestone as complete, since milestones are included in the Quick Click, that's where it's going to require an attachment. So if you check the box next to milestone, and I thought I was in as a mentee, but I don't know why it's not showing up here. If you were to mark your milestone as complete, that's what would require an attachment. But this itself should not. So if you just enter your hours, you do have to select a focus area that you worked on, and then you should be able to hit submit.
Okay, I had someone ask, and I just answered it. How do we show that we completed a practical experience? So again, you will enter those practical experiences as a goal, each one. You can name what you did for the experience and then mark that goal as complete. And that's how we'll keep track of how you completed your practical experiences. You do not have to upload documentation of that. If you do have a flyer of a local bar event that you attended, anything like that, you could certainly upload it, but we do not require documentation upload for the practical experiences, only for the milestones. Okay, so this is a lot of information. Yes, this is. And that is why we are recording it. Also, I encourage you to go back and rewatch for anything you feel like you missed. So what are the first 2 to 3 things we should do when we first create our account? So your account is created. That's how you are able to be matched. First thing is to connect with your mentor. If you're the mentee, I would go through and review all of those worksheets. Find the ones that you are most interested in that apply most to what you are doing in your practice where you are, and go through those first. Figure out which ones, figure out a communication plan with your mentor when you will meet. And we understand that sometimes, you're all very busy. Life happens and things come up. So don't feel obligated if you can't meet for a month. Like Tori showed you, you can enter 0 in for that month on that quick click, and that's okay too. Just pick right up where you left off. But the first thing I would suggest is setting up that initial meeting, kind of getting with your mentor, your mentee, and setting those expectations of how you would like to meet and go through the program together. What do we upload as an attachment for the milestones? Do we just show we completed the worksheet? Yes, that's all that we ask. We've had some bring up the worksheet on Word. They filled in notes from what they talked about. The worksheets are set up as discussion questions. So I would just go through, put notes on there, and then you will upload that at the end. Is it possible to create milestones that are more tailored to my practice as in-house counsel? Will it need to be approved by anyone? No, that is completely okay. We want you to do this. These milestones and these worksheets are just guidelines for you. They're not set in stone. You can tailor them to what your needs are in the program. So that is completely okay. And I think I've answered all that I see. If anyone else would just like to quickly unmute if you have a question for Tori.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
How are you doing today, Ms. Jones? Thank you. Regarding the time submission, is that something that has to be matched between the mentee and the mentor?
No. So this time submission can go, it doesn't just have to be, say you met for an hour over Zoom, but you prepared for that conversation, say for 30 minutes ahead of time. You do not just have to put an hour that you met. You put your time in that you prepared for the meeting as well. Time that you worked without your mentor. Yes, anything that you did with this program, you can put that time in. So it may differ between the mentor and the mentee.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? And since we are only about 10 minutes away from 1, I do want to respect all of your time. I know that in the agenda, I had breakout rooms assigned, but if you all, and those were really just for Q&A with our committee chairs and some of our committee members that have been through the program. So if you want to just unmute yourself, ask any questions that you may have, all of our committee chairs and some of our members have been through the program since its inception. They can definitely answer any questions that you have. So feel free to unmute or put it in the chat.
And I just want to add what I just put in the chat. The computer portion of the program is really a lot simpler and easier than it seems. I email Katie or I call her, and it takes a few minutes and it's done. It just takes getting started. I am not a technology person. It's really not that hard. It just takes a little bit of time to get started, and those answers can be given to you simply in a few minutes. As far as the program, I would tell you that it has been very worthwhile for myself personally and for our committee. The committee members are listed on the Florida Bar website. They're all accessible. Charlene's accessible. Katie's accessible. We have a small committee of about 17 or so, but we have the opportunity and the ability to impact over 600 practicing attorneys. And we want to help you and we want to assist you, and we hope that it works out for you. For some of the mentors, I would tell you the question that was brought up on the chat, sometimes it can be difficult to get the mentee to respond. I do, and we do recommend that you take the lead, whether it be texts, emails, phone calls, etc. But once it gets going, it generally gets going very well. Katie, do you want to add to that?
Yeah, like Jason said, don't be afraid. Mentors or mentees, reach out. We know, and if you are busy, that's okay. You can say, I'm out of town, or I'm traveling, or I have trial prep. All of that's okay. Just keep the communication going so the mentor or the mentee is aware. I don't have anything else to share, but I am always available. Like Tori shared, if you click on your quick clicks, it will say email program administrator. That is myself. So any questions that you have along the way, feel free to email. I will get back to you. You can give me a call as well, and I'm happy to walk you through any questions that you have.
Katie, I do have a question for someone that is perhaps on the committee and they were not able to join today and they need to go back and watch the video, or someone wants just a refresher. Can you explain how everyone will have access to that?
Yes, thank you. That's a great question. So after today, I will take the recording, we'll clean it up, we'll package it, and then we'll put it on our Counsel to Counsel mentoring page, which is the Florida Bar page that you shared, Char. And then we will also put it on MentorClick as well. And when it's available in that resource library on MentorClick, I'll send out a communication through there to let everyone know.
While we got a sec, since we were going to break out and I'm not seeing so many questions, one of our committee members volunteered to answer questions. I want to get Daniel Villegas to just give you a second about his experience in the program.
Hi, everyone. My name is Daniel Villegas. I'm an attorney down in Miami, Florida. This is my third year with the committee. Very similar to the experiences that have been shared. I've had very different mentees. One of my first mentor was actually someone that was about 5 or 6 years older than me, who was an attorney from another country that had just started his career as an American attorney here. So one of the cool things about the program is that sometimes, even though you're a mentor, you can also, in a way, be a mentee as well, because you get to learn, depending on who you're paired up with. There's a lot of things that the other person might know based on experiences that they might have had in another career, or even just practicing law in another country. And so, I don't know if anyone has any questions about, what to expect, I can tell you that, especially with my second mentee, who happened to be someone that had just graduated law school that same year, a lot of times, even though you have this great program to follow and to go through it, the different milestones, a lot of times the mentee might not necessarily want that. A lot of times the mentee just wants to meet someone, just kind of to kind of establish a relationship and talk about other things. So you don't necessarily have to be so beholden, at least from my experience, to that if it's not going to work. My first mentee, for example, it was just what he wanted more than anything else is just kind of understanding the American legal system. So something completely different from what you'll get from just looking at the different sheets. So don't, depending on your style and depending on your mentee, don't feel like you necessarily have to have a script. A lot of times it could just flow naturally. And, sometimes people are not part of the pool too. For some people is that they want CLE credits, but don't necessarily feel like you have to, especially when your mentee doesn't necessarily want that, because the truth is that, the main important thing is that it's a program designed to bring people together and to help people. So, that's just something, in case anyone had any questions about that.
That's great feedback, Daniel. Does anyone else from the committee want to chime in? Because we're coming to the end and we're not going to keep everyone if we're all covered our business for the day.
And I'll jump in really quick, Jason, just to say, I do want to follow up on the practical experiences, because I know some of our mentees in the past have had a hard time finding those. So if any of our mentors, even mentees as well, if anything is going on in your circuit, or your local bars that you're involved in, any sort of events where we could get our participants together, that's really what we want to encourage, that connection, that networking. So if you have any events going on, please feel free to email me and let me know about them. And I can send that communication out through MentorClick, and I can direct it to be specific.
Well, we are looking forward to working with you all. Certainly reach out to us as a resource, and we thank you all so much for your time, and thank you for joining this program. And hopefully we'll see you at graduation at the bar conference with the Chief Justice of the Florida Supreme Court at the end of the year. So thank you all so much.
Real quick, Jason, Katie, there was a question in the chat to see if today was for mentors and mentees. I believe it was for everyone on the committee.
It was, yes.
Mm-hmm. So if your mentor missed it or your mentee missed it, again, it will be uploaded in the website. And then Katie said we can access it. And then on the bar page that was dropped as well, if you just Google, Florida Bar Mentoring Program, you'll get a list of the committee members, as well as it was recorded. Yes, Jennifer. And then the graduation date should be during the Florida Bar Conference. I don't know if it's exactly set yet. So I believe that'll be in Orlando for June of 2026. And then once we get closer, we'll have the actual ceremony where the Chief Justice speaks and everyone that participates in the program, both mentors and mentees, will get their certificates. And it's a nice mix and mingle time for that. Oh, Jennifer says, can we record today's time as MentorClick, Katie?
Yes, absolutely. That is your time spent. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Great question. Okay, fantastic. Well, thank you everyone for participating. It was so nice to see you all. Feel free to reach out individually if you have questions, and have a wonderful weekend.
Yes, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend, and thank you for your time today.